I swear. Whoa. And we're live. What's up, guys? Nick Carlin from the Wyld Stallions. Along with me is oh, Derek
Uh,
Long,
yep, here I am. Yep.
the founder of the Wyld Stallions,
So,
and our guest tonight, Mr. Marty Grimes.
Yeah,
First
how you
time,
doing?
first year builder, and Frank's dad. You all met
Yeah.
Frank last week, and now we get to meet the man that made Frank. And now we get to meet the man that made Frank. Um, Marty, how you doing?
Good, doing good.
Good
so I
deal.
need to start out with, hey Marty, have we had any issues with garage space and availability between the four of you in one garage so far that you have come across?
Nothing that's affected me too much yet. There are various piles sitting around here. But
Hmm.
no, as far as I'm trying to get this bike behind me finished up, that's the one I've really been hitting as hard as I can, and we finally got it painted and everything. So, uh, hopefully, here in the next couple of weeks, I can get it finished up. But be ready. I'm hoping by Memorial Day. But yeah, as far as my build bike, though, the only thing I've really been able to do on that, I've got the motor apart, bottom ends over the hills. We ended up having to get just a little more extensive in that than what I was hoping to, but hopefully we'll get that back together. That was this month's goal, was to get the motor finished up, and it's
Yeah, I
probably
think
going
that
to be.
was the last update was that you were able to get the motor around and everything was out and sprawled out and you were getting ready to take it in to get some work done on it. I think that's the last time we'd heard anything of it actually.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I got done. I'm waiting to get that stuff back now, and he'll get her done pretty soon, and then I can get that motor together. I'm hoping. Got my wife's bike, Shelly's bike's apart. She's got stuff out to Pirates for powder coat, and when
I
we
uh
get that, what's that?
I did hear that. I was
Yeah,
asking for some pricing on powder coat, and he let me know that they were already getting
yeah.
stuff done for other competitors. And so,
So
yep.
yeah, so I don't know. I was telling her we've been getting parts around for hers, and I've been buying a few for mine too as we go. Stuff I know that we're gonna need, and so I told her we'll get her frame and sheet metal work. We got her paint the other day, so we get
Ooh.
that done, we'll get my motor done, and then we'll flip. We can get her motor worked on and then start on my frame and stuff. So
Hmm.
that's kind of the plan here, anyhow. But yeah, as far as space, nothing's really affected me too much yet. So
Well, you
I
said you had a
don't know that
couple
it
of
will.
you said you had a couple of piles laying around there. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Her bike is in a pile. Yeah.
is one of the other piles a pile of shit boat tail?
That's not really in too big of a pile. That's kind of all
It just
together what we have
We
left.
keep that one all in one piece.
uh,
That's the
uh,
Yeah,
time.
so far it'll get its turn into rotation, I'm sure.
hey, let me know when we're cutting that thing in half.
We're just
Yeah, I
making the
don't think
boat tail longer. Don't worry. It's going to be an oversized boat tail.
yeah, I doubt that one's gonna get cut.
We can we can dream.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, Richard's in the comments. Says hi guys and hi Marty.
Hey, Richard. Yeah. You're trying to get another load ready to go up. So,
Yeah, and I should be. I got all my numbers and everything, so I should be sending something up to him. Or well, in my occasion, it's down to him.
oh, yeah.
Um, and but yeah, we'll be getting in touch with him very shortly. I'm sure. Probably get everything figured out for what colors and where, and had started getting in touch with that guy. So,
So, yeah, it's pretty cool what they can do. That's for sure. They got a lot of really nice colors. Good work. So, and also, I don't know if he had mentioned to you, he said something to me. They're looking for some just old parts. I think they said they had plenty of sheet metal, but he was looking for like jugs and cases. Just if there's anybody got anything that's not usable or just old stuff. I know I told him I had a few things sitting around here, but they're just looking for something to promote their work and take to the shows and powder coat, from what I understood. So
hmm yeah, and I'm sure we'll be seeing that come back around when it comes to Owasso Vintage Motorcycle Days. Hey, Marty, do you happen to know the date of Owasso Vintage Motorcycle Days and the Wild Stallions finale?
it's August 29th, I
August
believe.
29th. So, for those people that are joining us in right now, August 29th, we'll be doing the Wild Stallions finale and Owasso Vintage Motorcycle Days. Make sure that you come up, and Marty's going to be building one of the bikes that you'll have the opportunity to vote on. In person vote is the way we do it. So come on out and make sure you vote for the bike that you have followed along with throughout the build series and that you like the most. I'll pass it off to
Yeah,
Mike.
really nice show up there. I mean, the show in general, besides the build contest, that's really cool. But the show too is really good. A nice mix of a little bit of everything. That's what I thought was really cool about it. Really nice vintage bikes up there.
It is. It's a very laid back atmosphere.
Yeah.
Talking shit to Frank in the comments. Bringing up.
Oh man. We could
So
almost like just have heard him if he would have said it. It's like the same situation as somebody texting you sitting next to you.
right.
He's actually in the house. So
Yeah.
Good place for him. So Marty, give us a little bit of background about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do? How did you get into building bikes?
well, I from right here, grew up around Oakwood, Ohio, right here, and lived there, went to school, everything, worked for my uncle on his dairy farm, and then went to the Marines when I got out of high school. Then come back, moved back here, met my wife in California where I was stationed, and then we moved back here and lived here just about ever since. So we've always been here in Northwest Ohio.
How did you
But,
talk your wife into moving from California to Midwest Ohio?
well, it's pretty crowded out there.
Oh
It's
yeah.
even worse now, a lot worse now. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, as
No,
far as building
that's
bikes,
like
I
a
mean,
fair question, but I mean, like in respect, if I had to think about it, am I gonna stay in, California and be overcrowded and all that, or am I gonna go to the Midwest? I mean, I think she knew what was best.
yeah, yeah, there's a lot of rules out there, especially now.
Oh
So,
yeah. Yep.
Mm.
but yeah, I don't know. Different as far as the bikes. I started out on a mini bike, a Honda 50 when I was little, and had different small bikes, all up through the years, and I guess when I graduated from high school, I had a 200 twin Honda 1975 CB 200. Then I got to California and had a couple dirt bikes out there, and that was my first mode of transportation in Southern California. Was I think it was a 1978 Kawasaki 175 Enduro, and that was my transportation on the freeways and everything out there. Went to the desert and rode it and back and forth. But
Oh
and
yeah.
graduated to a KLR 250, and I didn't really get my first Harley till right after Frank was born. So that was he was actually in the hospital, I think, when I bought that. It was a 74 Sportster,
Hold
and
on,
it was
honey.
in,
Hold on, honey. Hold on. I gotta go get this bike. You'll be all right. You'll be
yeah,
here
yeah,
when I get back, and we'll truck it down the road later on.
That's what I was.
yeah. But it was the 74 Sportster in a pile, and didn't know anything about them, and I was amazed how easy they were to work on. And I just put the thing back together. Motor and everything was intact, and yeah, I got it together and went down the road on it, and I'd never rode anything like that in my life. That was the torque. I mean, for those that ride Harleys, they know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I guess I was hooked then. But then I ended up didn't have that one very long. Sold it probably. I don't know if I had that one a year or not, but sold it. Had a family, so that's the way it goes. And then about 90, I don't know when I did get that other one. 98 maybe 95. I had a 75 Sportster then that I bought, and then that I sold in July of 99, and I didn't have another bike probably until I think it was 2019 or 2020,
Mhm.
and I ended up getting my Dyna then. But as far as building the I guess I had one of my uncles when I was little had one of the old Honda. He had a Honda chopper, and of course this was back in mid 70s, mid to late 70s, and it was I believe it was a 354 motor engine on there, and I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. That was always loved choppers, and just never was able to have one, or never thought about it much. And I wanted to buy that when he sold it. There was something wrong with it, and I know it'd be the same speech that Frank got. Dad told me it was a death trap and wouldn't let me buy it, and which at the time I was about 14, so it might have been a good thing. but
Yeah.
but yeah, I got to ride on it one time that I remember, and it was another uncle that gave me the ride. But that's, I guess, where probably my love for long bikes came in. Choppers really started. I really wasn't around it a whole lot, but that's always what's been on my mind when I always picture a chopper. It's just a long forks, and you know. But so
Mhm.
yeah, then about I don't know, 2019, I think is when I started. 2020, I started. Ended up finding an old frame. Friend of mine had. Her husband passed away, and she ended up saying she had some parts up there, and I went up, and there was an old frame in there, and I had no idea what it was or anything. And so I brought it down here to Jeff, to Hills there, to see if he was interested in the stuff, if he could use it or whatever. And he told me it's a shovel head frame, so I said, "Well, all right, and he said, "Yeah," he said, "I know somebody that's got a motor and a transmission, if you want to do something with it." So it's like, well, hey, here we go. So that's where
Yeah,
that began.
you guys have really like put your foot to the floor and really started not that long ago. And for what you and Frank are got going on now, the bikes you guys are building are fabulous. So for you guys to tell us that, oh, we've only been doing it a few years, to like that is a l- most of these people are still trying to get a bike together, and you guys have put together how many bikes since 2019, 2020 now? You got
Frank's got a couple of them he's done, and then this is my second one behind me, because I've been on this one about 3 years, which is way too long, but for me at least. And then so yeah, those are what we have so far.
yeah,
And then of course, Matt's got his in the works here, and then Shelly's got hers in the works. So we're
yep,
we're going to have a busy year, that's for sure.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I don't know. When I first started on that other one, I had no idea what I was doing, and I mean, I've got a tool and die and mechanical background, so I mean, I that part of it is just is what it is. But as far as the geometry of the frame and and what it takes to do it. It was all kind of a trial and error. Now, it wasn't all me. I asked,
Mhm.
went over Jeff Hill there at Hill's Performance. He's built a lot of bikes over the years, so I asked him a lot of questions, and I know there was a lot of times I went over there and we'd just talk about motorcycles. I know he had work to do, but he was still just happy to spend the time and answer questions or whatever. And I even asked him to come over to the house when I had the frame done, and I said, ask him if he would check it out for me to see if there's anything that I did or didn't do, just to make sure. I want to make sure this thing's going to go down the road because I'm building it to ride.
Mhm.
So yeah, he stopped over one night and checked it out. So, but yeah, he's been a real good source of help. I mean, he'll more than happy to answer questions and always able to get stuff, and if there's
And
something we're trying to find.
for those who don't know, that bike is long like the bike that is behind Marty, and he rode that when I got introduced to him from Defiance, Ohio, all the way up to Owasso Vintage Motorcycle Days for that first show. And when I seen it and then found out how long of a distance that was, that's a true, like, you made sure that you had those, T's crossed and I's dotted, because that's quite a trip on that bike. And I was impressed, just to say the least, that you had taken and built it and then traveled all the way up to the show, and you've been already riding it around. So,
Yeah, we've had it out to Sturgis, I think, 3 years, and rode to Columbus a couple years to the Iron Pony Show down there, and rode it up to Owasso a couple years. So yeah, I've got just shy of 17,000 miles on it. So it's we've had a lot of good times. So,
mm-hmm.
but hopefully this year I'm planning a chopper trip. I don't know if I'll take the one behind me or that one, but I want to ride up to the locks this year. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. That's for sure. But yeah, I don't know, like Detroit Randy said, in one of his interviews, and there's nothing more true. He says you're gonna turn 80 one of these years, and you're gonna either smile about what you did or you're gonna regret what you didn't. And Randy's a good friend of mine, or I consider him a good friend. And when I heard that in the interview, I thought, boy, there's a lot to be said there for that statement, because you know I I don't know, you sit around and you build a bike and it becomes part of you. The first year I come up there to the Wyld Stallions build contest, and we've been to a lot of shows, different places, and you talk to a lot of people and ask them questions about, details on their bike, about the foot pegs or about, whatever. And they either say, "Oh yeah, that's something I bought," or "somebody did this," or whatever. And when I come up there to the Wyld Stallions show that year and started talking to the builders, even though maybe it wasn't, my thing, what they built, but it was their thing, and that's what makes it cool. But just listening to them talk and tell their story about how they did the work, that really, I got the same feeling, and I knew exactly where they were coming from, and that was really cool.
And
Just
you
listening
see,
to the
you don't get those stories out of a J&P Cycle catalog.
right, yeah. But yeah, and I guess that's uh, for somebody that's never done that, because I had no idea. I thought, well, yeah, throw a bike together in 6 months, and there are people that can do that. But when you're looking at every detail and you're thinking, I want to do this, or how am I going to mount the speedometer? I just ran into that on this one behind me, and now I got to make a bracket for that, because where the coil's positioned, the speedometer won't work where it was supposed to be. So, but that's okay. That's just
Hmm.
part of it. But when you get all done, and I always take pictures as I go, and I need to get caught up on it with this one. But when I got the other one all done, I think I had like 150 or 180 pictures that I had taken in the course of the 19 months that I took to build it. and my daughter was helping me get stuff around to send to Walmart, so we could get them printed off. Because a lot of
Mhm.
times I'll take that photo album to the shows. That way people can leaf through it. And each picture, as we selected it to get them printed, it was really emotional because like I
Mhm.
remember when I did that, and I remember that was the second time because the first one didn't work, and the frustration that it was, and so yeah, it's I guess if there's a recommendation, I'd tell people that are building, man, document it with pictures because you'll appreciate it when you get all done looking back through those, because you'll remember, oh man, I remember when that bolt broke, or having to bend that piece different so that it fit. But I don't know. I don't think a lot of people realize what it takes to finish one. When you
Mhm.
think you're just about done, you probably got another month or so by
Yeah.
the time you
There
go to your
was
client.
yeah, there was an old saying that I used to hear. It was like, "Oh yeah, I'm 3/4 of the way done, so you have another 6 months."
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of truth in that too.
Yup.
Right there. I just need to add gas and
Yeah, that's
Uh,
something we were joking about tonight. Is haven't poured gas all over this one yet.
mm,
That shovel head. It seemed like the first time we put gas in that one. I don't know about both of Frank's, but yeah, it seems like we're putting gas in. We spill gas all over him out of the can for whatever reason. So I told him we need to just start dumping gas on him and get
yeah,
it out of the system and be done with it.
yeah.
So
Just get it out the way. Just go and just get it over with.
RJ Thunder Roads in the comments on Facebook. What's up, RJ? Um, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
RJ. Yeah, we had a good time with them. Run into them a few times out to Sturgis. I know he did mention that in his story, but yeah, that was a good time.
Mhm.
RJ's
But
always a good time.
yeah, but yeah, we found out a couple days ago. A good friend of ours, Chantel, Derek, you probably know Chantel.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do, Nick.
I don't
Chantel
think so.
Williams. She got in a pretty bad accident in Daytona. I
Yeah.
guess a drunk driver hit her, and she's busted up pretty bad. So
Oh man.
her arms, some ribs, I think her pelvis.
Yeah. I
So yeah,
seen
she's in the hospital.
Randy was there with her. That's how
Yeah.
I seen that.
Oh, you
So
go. You go to the big get-togethers, Marty, like Sturgis and whatnot. You ever been to Daytona?
no, never have.
So that's
I watched some videos down there, and I don't know that it really has interested me that much. I mean,
well,
just
that's
because it looks crowded, it looks like the cops are kind of,
Hmm.
a pain down there. And but I don't know. Well, this year Frank did talk to our buddy Albert, and got a little inside scoop on it, and he sounded like he had a good time down there.
yeah. I
But have either of you been there?
No.
no, that's not really my scene. That's kind of I you mentioned your friend got hit by a drunk driver, and that kind
Yeah,
of sounds unfortunately that like the norm down there at Daytona, and yeah, it's not really something I'm into. I want to put myself in that situation.
yeah. Yeah, Sturgis is a good time though. I guess it's because there's just so much other things to do. You're not just confined to town.
Yeah,
There's
Hmm.
there's a lot of places to go, a lot of riding, and I mean it's as crowded as it is. It's a friendly atmosphere. Is always what we felt when we were out there.
yeah. I've never been to Sturgis during the rally. I think when I went out there, it was a week or two before the actual rally. But yeah, it's gorgeous out there.
Yeah, but yeah, we got into some weather this year, but for the most part, I mean, we've had rain different times, but I guess all in all, we've had you know more good weather than bad weather out there.
That is one
But
thing that
there's
I heard a story of, that you can go up some of those in the, what is it, the Black Mountains or whatever, the Black Hills.
Black Hills.
Black Hills,
And
yeah,
when you're in the Black Hills, like there's the elevation change, and then you could like turn one of the corners and it's like rain and sleet, and then you come back down, it's normal. Back to the summer weather and such.
Yeah, I mean, we never had any drastic changes like that. I know a couple years ago we decided to run down to Rapid City. That the dealer down there at Black Hills Harley, they always have a big doings and a lot of vendors and stuff. And we sat down there for 4 hours waiting on it to quit raining, and it wasn't even on the radar as raining.
Oh,
It was a
wow.
it was a pretty heavy rain there for a while.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean, you're definitely, if you go down to Hill City or Mount Rushmore and that, you'll notice a temperature change normally. But yeah, we've never had any drastic changes like where we ran into rain or snow or hail. But I know people have said that they took off and went down and they came back to town and there was tree limbs blowed down, and where that Sturgis had got a bad storm while they were gone.
Hmm.
But yeah, fortunately I think we got into a little bit of hail this year, but yeah, we were just happy we made it back that night. I think we rode in more rain this year than I have in my life. It was, or last year, I should say.
Yeah.
Matt and I come home from Owasso last year, and we got all, clear down. I don't remember where we got into it, but it rained all the way to Adrian. We probably got 20 mile or so south of Owasso, but then we thought we were out of it. We got into Ohio and got to probably 10 mile into Ohio, and it just cut loose again.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we got to the turnpike and got under the bridge there and decided to bite the bullet and go on up to the truck stop there. And yeah, we were soaked through. I mean, my leather vest, everything was soaked. So, well, we waited it out there for another hour or so, and then we got on home. But yeah, that was an interesting night.
That's always a good time having to dump out your boots and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, when you can feel the rain running down in your underwear, you know you're soaked through pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's bound to happen, though.
Yeah, part
so,
of it.
So, what are you building this year, Marty?
Oh, I got a 76 Super Glide that I bought a few years ago, and it was in a pile when I bought it, and so it's been sitting here waiting for something to do with it. So yeah, I'm planning on. I have that. That's what's in the works, and I'm planning on probably putting gusher forks on it. I talked to them a couple weeks ago. Just have to get the frame done, and yeah, shovel head motor is what I'm working on. 4-speed ratchet top in it. So I haven't got everything figured out on the fender yet, or on the frame. I've got an idea what I want to do with it. I kind of like to do crazy stuff with the frames, but so I've got an idea, but I'm not real sure yet. So paint scheme, I think I got an idea that I want to do for that too. And but
Yeah,
yeah, so that's good.
anyone that's seen your bike knows that you like to do crazy things on the frame. Oh.
Yeah, we got one twisted, and we got one that's complete Hot Wheels track, full circle behind you there.
That's yeah, that's just something I thought I'd try to do, and so it worked out pretty good. Well, it seems to have anyhow. It hasn't been down the road yet, but I'm sure it'll be fine. But
so
yeah, it's a lot of fun. What's that?
You like the long bikes? You pass that on to Frank, correct?
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I think he took a liking to it once he saw that it would work.
Oh.
Yeah.
After Dad took the trial run, he made sure you were safe.
That's what he said right after I got the other one done, and I know he had said that last week too. But yeah, once he found out that hey, this will work, because I mean, even the first trip down the road on my shovel head, I wasn't sure because I'd never rode one before, and yeah, I started down the road, and of course the way that's built, I could feel every move, everything flexing. and I couldn't hardly keep it in my lane. And I thought, oh my golly, I just spent all this time and money, and I built a show bike. I didn't want a show bike. I wanted one to ride. And so yeah, then I took it down the road again. And once you get used to it and realize you just got to let it do its thing and not fight it. I mean, well, that's the difference too. You get that front wheel out there, and that front end gets pretty light, as far as steering it. If it's set up right, stock bikes, you steer them a little harder because that front end's a little heavier. But yeah, the way that one's set up, that steering's pretty light. And of course, with those ape hangers on there and stuff, you got a lot of leverage. So, my body was probably just over correcting is what was happening
Mm-hmm.
because, you go down the road now, it's just like anything else. But yeah, I rode Frank's pink one down the road yesterday. He brought it back. He was riding around yesterday. He'd been wanting me to take it down the road just for comparison. And so, yeah, it actually rides pretty good. It is. I don't know that I want one any longer. I mean, with the forks any longer, that's, but I think, as first ride on it too, once you get used to it, I mean, he does fine on it and it rode good. I didn't have any trouble with it, but just a different feel. You just got to get used to that. And then I suppose different frame and stuff too. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it rode good though.
What is it about the long bike that is just draws you to it? Because that's all you guys build, pretty much, right?
Yeah, that's all I've done so far. But I don't know. I just like the way they look. I guess the coolness of it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's to me anyhow. I mean, I know not everybody thinks it's cool, but there's each to their own, and that's what makes it really nice. I know that's what my wife, she didn't want hers raked or anything, so we didn't do that.
I was gonna ask how long Mama Grimes' bike was gonna be.
Yeah, she's sticking with a stock rake on hers. So I don't want to
Nice.
give too much away because I want her to be able to tell about it. So
Yeah, you said that's why I didn't ask about paint. You said she got some paint. Ooh, I'm gonna let her tell it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't want to say too much because I do. I want her. She's when she said she wanted to do that, I said, she wanted to be in it. I said, well, you're going to be out here wrenching on the thing because I'm not going to do it all. And okay, yeah, she's been right out here hooking and jabbing. She tore most all of it apart, and you know, I mean, I've been working with her a little bit on it, but as far as down and dirty stuff, she's been in there twisting bolts and taking, cleaning stuff up, and so I'm excited for her. I mean, we've gotten a lot of stuff for it so far. When we could get it, we went ahead and got it. The list is getting longer. What makes it easy is that things that she's going to need, I'm going to need too, because both shovel head frames and stuff, and wheels will be kind of the same. So now when we order stuff, we had to just about order double stuff. So
A his and her set.
yeah, just about. Yeah,
oh, Michigan
but
biker
yeah,
laws in the comments. What's up, guys? One of our returning sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
So with the family dynamic out in the shop, has it come to blows yet?
no, I don't think so. I know.
He's saving face for
I
the
was gonna,
camera.
I was gonna say, I was hoping you were gonna tell us Shelly kicked everyone's ass at least
Yeah,
once.
Oh no, no.
yeah. Shelly kicked everybody out. That's
Yeah,
it. We started arguing. She grabbed Frank by the ear and drug him out.
yeah. No, I don't think we'll let it get to that point. So we usually, like I say, we usually are in various stages, so it's pretty easy to work around. So I know Matt's been getting some stuff around for his, and we got a little bit of work to do on his frame yet, but he's getting some stuff around and found some parts the other day. There again, I don't want to say a whole lot. It's just
Well, I
conversation.
mean, that's good. See, now we're seeing we haven't talked to Matt yet, but we've heard the stories of his on and off of the lift so far. And now we have Marty telling us about how he's procuring parts. So, I mean, we're going back in the right direction there.
Yeah, so yeah, we're in a gathering process right now, I guess, of gathering up parts. At least that's where I'm at. If I can find the stuff, I'll go ahead and get it and put it in a box or put it in a tote. And but yeah, hopefully it'll be good enough now to get this one done that I won't forget where I put the stuff or what I did get and what I didn't get. So that's the thing with this other one. Been 3 years and I got the stuff out of the box and it's like, shoot, I thought I bought that or didn't realize I did. Or but
Hmm. So, with your build that you're doing this year, do you have any direction that you know of yet that you know that you do want to incorporate in the build, or is that you're on the let me get done with what's on the list right now, and then I'll figure out more of that besides the basics at this point?
well, I mean, it's in the back of my mind as far as I've been trying to sketch out, something I want to do for the sissy bar and like I said, the frame idea. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I don't know. I might leave the neck just a couple inches lower than I have on these last two. I put them about 36 inches off the ground, but I thought about dropping that one down to 34 just to see, a little different. It would shorten the forks up a couple inches probably,
Hmm.
but just to, and then not probably not stretch it out like these last two. Had I known this one behind me, I didn't even think about how the tank was going to sit on there when I did the frame, and I just knew the overall length was basically the same as what my other one was. So I probably wouldn't have stretched that and goosenecked that out near as far had I known, with that being pointed on the front, I got all kinds of room there. So
No,
I
I
don't
think
think
that
I'm,
looks great with the goosenecked out there. If you would have pulled it in a little bit, I think it would have made it look a little bit squashed there with your
well,
tank there. But
yeah.
I mean, with it all flowing the way that it is, you can see above the tank and go through and go back above on the motor. I don't think you missed your mark there, bud. I think you got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. But yeah, I'm not quite sure on the tank I'm going to use yet. I know I've got one here that I bought, but I don't know if I want to use that one. I got another old tank out there that kind of a cool, like a maybe a flat bottom sort of a coffin tank or something. I don't know. I haven't got that out to really look at that yet. But I like to put a little bit bigger tanks on, just that way I don't have to worry about getting gas every few miles. I can, like, if I
Hmm.
want to ride up to Owasso, I know I can get to Chelsea before I need to stop for gas.
Yeah.
So, but
I think Frank mentioned last week you guys had a gas can out in Sturgis that actually he needed to use because the tank on his bike's so small.
yeah, yeah. I
Oh
think it's
yeah.
what he said. He
Yeah,
gets about
the way
60.
that it's angled at, he's only really getting so much of the active fuel.
Yeah, yeah. And I think he said he's got like a 6 mile reserve on it. So if you can't see the gas station, you're probably not going to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that and that really wasn't, especially out there, because you can go quite a few miles out there, but it really wasn't as big a problem as I thought it might be. There's enough stations, but uh, yeah, I don't even remember. I'm trying to remember if he rode that bike out to the Badlands. I don't think so. I think that was his other bike he rode out there, but because that would have been a trip. That would have been we would have needed the gas can for sure going out there.
Mhm.
But yeah, anywhere we went clear down, down through Iron Mountain Road and everything. And yeah, I think we used a gas can maybe once. So that was pretty good, really. But yeah, that's the thing, you can find all kind of cool looking tanks, but they hold, 1.8 gallon or two
Right.
gallon or something. They're really cool, but yeah, I like to have at least 3.5.
Mhm.
We'll see what this year brings. So this other one may not. So, but
That's
yeah, I guess another thing, thinking about putting, probably put jockey shift on that one too for the contest. So that's something I've always wanted to do, but I didn't want to have too many things at once, never riding a long bike. So I didn't want jockey shift on it. And I'm really
Mhm.
glad I didn't put it on my shovel head. So, but now I think it'll be all right. I think we'll be okay on this one.
So yeah, Frank's shovel's jockey shift, isn't it?
Yeah, his red one
Yeah,
from
the
last
red
year.
one.
Yeah,
I would say
yeah,
so.
yeah. I rode that one day. We had the old knucklehead out, and we switched bikes that day. And I had forgotten about it because we he said, well, let's switch and to get back to the house, and I forgot about it being jockey shift, and it's like, well, okay, I would rather not be on a state highway learning it, but it really wasn't bad, and it really really rode good too. I was surprised, his handlebars and stock rake on it, and but yeah, that one really rode good. I was really surprised. So
So yeah, I've never
it's
ridden a jockey shift bike, so it'd be
yeah. So well,
foreign
I
to
mean,
me.
we've got Cushmans too. So I mean, that's those are an automatic clutch, but still you got the hand shift on the tank.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not the same, as having a live clutch. But, but yeah, I suppose it's just one of them things. You just it's a learning curve. Make sure when you get to the stop sign, you're leaning the right way.
Yeah,
Right.
and the
Foot down.
road that you learn on shouldn't be that curvy either. So when the
Right.
learning curve or interacts with the actual curve, you don't
Yeah,
curve off of the path.
yeah. But yeah, he rode that up through Iron Mountain Road, so that was pretty impressive. Made it through all those curves and hills, and so yeah, he
Nice.
was busy, but we made it.
Yeah.
Jody from Steel Horse Ranch says that she loves that tank behind you, Marty. That
Oh,
coffin tank,
yeah, well, it's actually a hexagon pyramid.
Yeah.
hexagon pyramid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a
six
prism
sided. Yeah,
tank.
Kurt down at Anything Goes Cycles built that for me. So I sent him the design, and he got her figured out and built it for me.
Nice.
So yeah, the paint I was pretty happy with how the paint come out too. That was a alpha paint from the spray source. It's a one of like a transition paint. So it goes from like right there in that picture, I can see it looks like a real bright green on top.
Yeah.
But if
Mhm.
the light changes or the angle changes, it might look purple or bronze or a little red or something in there. So there's a lot of different color variations there
Huh.
as you move around it. So anxious to get it going down the road to try to get the full effect, in the sun. But
Yeah, I bet that looks crazy in the sun.
it all depends how the light hits it. Because you might look at it one time and it might just be all real bright metallic green. And then you turn it just slightly and then it might be a bronze, a gold, a purple. Uh, yeah, because it looks like what I can see there on the screen, the bottom panel on that looks like it might be like a red
Yeah.
or something in there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But and then when you get in low light, the thing almost looks black. So
Yeah, well that's what like the front of it looks like with the least amount of light being reflected on that top corner panel there. Almost looks like a dark.
I don't know if that'll change anything on your screen.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. And the frame does the same thing.
No, the frame is actually that was Pirates did that. That's powder coat, and
That's
it's a gold, but in the bright light it looks more gold than it does in low light. It kind of has a green color to it when in low light. But
huh.
yeah, at certain times that tank and frame looks like it clashes like crazy, and then other times when you move just right, it looks like it matches perfect. So
Yeah.
Nice.
pretty pretty happy with the way it come out.
Nice. Yeah, that thing looks killer.
So yeah, thank you. Anxious to get it out and ride it. I haven't heard, like I say, haven't heard it run for 3 years. So
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you are planning on bringing that up to a Wassa Vintage, aren't you?
yeah, probably. Well, I probably will ride this one up this year. Is what my plans are. So and then unless I ride the bike I build up, it just depends how it works out.
So that's
So
not your build bike behind you there.
No.
no, No.
That's the bike he's got to get done with to get to his build
Oh,
bike.
Yeah,
nice. So you're about the
yeah,
same spot that me and Derek are in right now, as far as our builds
yeah,
go.
the way it sounds,
Nice.
Yeah, we're
Yep.
pretty close, neck and
Phew,
neck here. Yeah.
phew. Good. I thought we were alone.
No.
Oh.
Oh, no. No, Frankie, Marty is still ahead of us. He's got a bike on a lift that he's got to get done to get the other one done. Just because you put your bike on the lift
Oh.
yesterday does not mean that you're even with it.
No,
Bikes are the same thing. That means, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Believe me, I've been stressing over it too because I know it's several months off, but I also know how much time things take, and it's like, man, told Shelly, I said, I could not do one and just work with her, and I'd be happy, because I don't like being rushed. I like, if I find out something I like to take my time, figure it out, something that might look cool, and But I think once we get going, it'll be all right. I'll be able to stick with it and slow and steady, hopefully.
What is
That's
something that you are during the build process that you are thinking that you're like me and Frank when we had him on the other day, we kind of had that like this is something that I want to get better at during this build. And is there something that during the build that I'm going to focus on doing this and get better at it as I go? Is there a substance there?
I think it'd probably just be the same answer as Frank gave last week. We want to try to get our painting skills, up to snuff a little bit, or give that a try this year. And I mean, Rod, obviously, our buddy from Rod's Hot Rods, he's more than willing to help us. So he'll probably get the base down for me. What I want to do, I think I'm going to have to do a lot with airbrush. So it's not going to be anything that's, I don't know. I don't want to say it won't take a lot of talent, but I think it's going to take more patience than anything because there'll be a lot of different colors involved. But yeah, I'd say the paint this year. I mean, we've got our welding stuff like that. We kind of know what we're doing. We hope we do anyhow.
Mhm.
Every time you hit a bump, you always think about that neck. But
Yes.
but but yeah, I think that. And then also, I guess for me, I mean, Frank's been through his motors, but I wanted to try to get a little bit more fluent with that, in the bottom ends and stuff. I got it apart, but as far as the rebuilding of the crank and flywheels and stuff in there, I mean, I've got Jeff doing that on mine right now. And I think that was kind of more of a time thing for me, still working quite a bit in that. So just to get that done, I want to make sure that I'm not waiting in July here, still trying to get my motor back together. So if I can
Yeah.
get my motor together, and have that sitting on the shelf ready to go, I've already got a transmission ready to go. So that's, then I can spend time on my frame and sheet metal and stuff like that. So that's why I say, we're trying to flip flop a little bit between Shelly and I. That way, we get her frame and sheet metal done, then we can concentrate on her motor and transmission.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, so, but yeah,
our
I guess that's, get back into that a little bit. So,
RJ says if we ever get together for a chopper ride, he's gonna have to borrow one of ours.
yeah, sure we can fix him up.
Like I
Yeah.
say, I've got a picture of RJ on my bike up at
Oh, yeah.
where the hell were we? The swap meet we were at.
Emily,
Novi.
Emily,
Novi.
oh,
Novi.
no.
Yeah. Nick didn't come to Imlay. Would believe he's coming this year though.
Okay. I thought he was there last year.
No, I was there. It was me, you, Frank.
Yeah. I
RJ
thought
was
it was,
there, but not
yeah.
Nick.
Salty Badger in the YouTube comments says that thing's in two different time zones. Of course, it changes colors.
Good.
That's funny. Oh,
Yeah, I've been able to get I got a comic on my toolbox at work that I think Matt sent it to me, but a guy on a chopper sitting at a stoplight. And of course, the front wheel's hanging out in the intersection. The cops are right there pointing it out. The wheels across the stop line.
Yep.
Do you ever see yourself building a non-stretched chopper?
I don't know. I thought about it, but I don't know whether I would or not. I just like them so much. I do have an 82 FLHS here that I'm planning on restoring that one. So that's all numbers matching and everything. So I just have to figure out when I'm going to do that. So
So you're going to
do that when I
restore
get
it.
tired of them. What's that?
You're going to restore it. You aren't going to chop it.
No, no. That one's pretty much all complete, all numbers matching, and I really don't want to destroy that one. So
Gotcha.
I shouldn't say destroy. I don't want to violate it, I guess. But
Hey, I just went and bought a non-molested frame, and I sat staring at it before I chopped into it yesterday because the guy made it such a deal that it was such an unmolested
oh yeah,
frame that nobody's touched, and it's everything's there, numbers are good, and I was like, that's cool. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna cut a hole in it.
yeah. Well, the two that I've done so far, those were good frames. I mean, well, the one, yeah, they were both good frames. But yeah, but you got to start somewhere. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Right.
So, no, this other one was pretty much complete. So I kind of wanted to just put that one back and have just nice original shovel head. So we'll see if it ever happens. I don't know.
Hmm.
So I got 71 FLH that I'm not going to restore it, but I'm going to be able to put it back to stock if I ever needed to.
Yeah.
So there won't be any heavy modifications on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've used those frames because, well, they're swing arm frames, so there's a little more to deal with, when you're starting to put custom stuff on and build exhaust and that, but they ride so much better. I mean, I don't mind riding a hardtail a little ways, but I don't know that I could make it to Owasso on a hardtail. So nothing against the guys that ride them, and our old Knuckles a hardtail, and I like riding that, but
Does it have a
yeah,
sprung seat?
what's that?
Does the knucklehead have a sprung seat?
No,
See,
no,
yeah,
it's just a king and queen seat. And
sprung
yeah, I guess
seat makes the
if it did
difference.
yeah, that would be. So I guess if I was to build one, and I did think about that this year, using a hardtail frame, but I didn't have one here, and so but I thought about it. Well, that would make things simpler because you put things on there. I mean, I'm sure there's things you run into with those too, but yeah, nothing moves on those. You don't have to worry about the exhaust hitting the shock or when you put that stuff on, it stays right where you put it. So
Hmm.
Right.
Well, it's supposed to.
right,
It's supposed to.
yeah, keep them bolts tight.
Yeah.
Cross thread them Loctite, and we'll let God
Yeah,
sound them out from
whatever
there.
you can do. Yeah, whatever you can do. That's what we were laughing, Frank and I told him stuff was started to come loose on his a little bit. I said, yeah, I said, usually about the first 1,000 miles and then after 10,000 miles is when I noticed the most problems. So
Hmm.
if you can keep them tight, then they usually stay.
See, I don't notice it until the shit falls off, and I go looking for it later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shit. Didn't I have exhaust earlier?
I swear it was there when I left.
Yeah. It
yeah.
was a lot quieter before I left. I don't know. Something happened.
That's what a couple of years ago we rode over to Pennsylvania. We have an evangelist friend over there has a shooters expo, and we help out with that when we were gone. And we were on our way back, and we got to we were probably around Sandusky or somewhere on the turnpike over there, and noticed something was making a funny noise vibrating on my dyna, and we'll hear one of the bolts came out of the front pipe on that, and the clamp was just sitting there rattling around. So
Ooh.
We ended up getting it stuck back in there to get home, but still probably had 100 miles to go. But yeah, that's the first time I ever had anything come loose really on that, other than the ground strap. So was having problems with that one year. Well, first year we went to Sturgis. Thing was died on me one day here at the house, and then it was acting up when I'd hit the starter button on it. And took it over. Jeff checked it all out, and they got it. Give it a once over before we went out there, and we got out there, and I don't know. It started acting up a little bit, and I was getting it all cleaned up for a show, and I was down underneath there somewhere where the ground strap was at, and noticed the bolt was loose on it. That's all it was. Tightened that bolt up on the ground strap. It was fine. So
So yeah, I thought I blew my purple bike up once like that because I thought the ground or the found out the ground strap had come loose. But I was spitting and sputtering and scared the shit out of me.
yeah, that's where I've even got where I'll scrape the frames before I put the motors on to make sure they're grounded good, just to so it's good and clean there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Marty, what are you hoping to get from the build competition? What are you hoping to come away with other than the trophy?
Oh, I just like to see what other people do and talk to people. It's always fun to go to shows and you meet people from all over, all walks of life, and that's I guess what it's become the fun thing for us. We go and we was down to Cincinnati down there, and people from different areas, different tastes, different things. It's pretty neat. Over at the party at the Pen last year, we met people. There's you got a whole different group of people over there than what we have friends from Sturgis, and they're from all over the country. But it's just neat, I guess, to meet people and get to talk to them and see what they're doing. If they're builders, collectors, riders, or maybe just spectators. But it's just fun to talk to them. So I don't know. I guess we come away with just having a good time and meeting some new friends, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Good way to look at it.
So yeah, because I mean, if it gets to the point where you're just killing yourself to try to do it and it ain't fun anymore, then if you're under the gun that you always think you're gonna you have to do it to win or something. I mean, it's always fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun to come home with a trophy or something. It always is. But hey, anymore, it's just as much fun to talk to people and it's really fun, when you meet somebody that rode these bikes back in the 70s. That not a whole lot of them left, but there's still a few, and then listen to their stories because it's really cool to hear. With the first year I had that shovel head out to Sturgis, there was a guy out there. I think he said he was in his 70s. I think he showed me a picture of it. It was him and his sister there, and yeah, he had a chopper with a sidecar on it at one time. But just to be able to talk to those guys and they just the fun they had too and the stories, the things they did, it's kind of neat to continue to carry that on, I guess. And I guess that's what I hope to do and what we hope to do is to
Mm-hmm.
kind of keep that alive. It seems like it comes and goes. And I know Sugar Bear said that he's seen it, 3 or 4 times where, choppers are in, then they're not, then they're in, then they're not.
Yeah.
And but I guess I don't know when we started a few years ago, they were in 10 or 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it seemed like, and then it was kind of in a lull right there. And now it seems like they're coming back a little bit.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
definitely.
there's always been that group, that has always been on them and always liked them and rode them. But
Mm-hmm.
I'd say probably the last like 10 years or so, there really has been a revival of more of the traditional chopper. You know,
yeah,
not the fat tired OCC stuff
mhm,
from the early 2000s, but more just the '70s style.
yeah, and that's I don't that's what we try to shoot for, is kind of that. the traditional stuff and see what we can do or what other, cool stuff we can do. But it's neat. The more you look at pictures, old pictures, it's like just like the, twisting my frame. Well, there's pictures of other guys that did stuff similar to that, that I had no
Hmm.
idea, but so they had the ideas back then too and did different
Hmm.
things. And just kind of neat to see that.
Yeah, especially with the technology that they didn't have back then compared to what we
Right.
have now. It's
Hmm.
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Either brazing stuff together or stick welding stuff together.
Yeah.
It's,
Hmm.
Talk about sketchy choppers. That's
yeah.
no kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. That looks cool right there. Weld it, and
Yep. Yep.
didn't,
Right there. What do we have the stuff in this hole? Washers.
Yeah.
yeah.
Another piece of steel. Weld it all together. Mud. Good.
Yep. Well,
But yeah, we often talk about wonder how many people, really got hurt back then because something
Yeah.
just didn't go with it. It's, but
we appreciate their sacrifice.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, there's nothing saying it don't happen today. So
Yeah,
Hmm.
every
that's
time you get going down the road, well, like I say, look at Chantel,
Yeah.
she
yeah.
rides thousands upon thousands of miles every year all over the country and then gets hurt right in her backyard there pretty much.
Yeah.
So
All right. We got anything else from Marty, Derek?
Marty, if there's a song that you would say that you wanted to listen to that would define Marty, your favorite song, you got to throw it on to really get some work done in the garage, what are you picking?
I don't know. Sometimes it's just quiet, but there's a
There
I
you
don't know
go.
who sings it, but there's a one I saw. It's on a YouTube motorcycle video or slideshow. Is if you don't ride, then you don't know. I don't know what the name of that song is, but the other one is was it Little Walter, Key to the Highway. That's kind
Okay.
of an old bluesy song. That's a really a cool song.
Hmm.
So,
Very cool.
Other than that, no. Thank you for joining us. Nice backdrop there in the back there. Look forward to everything that's going to be coming up August 29th for Owasso Vintage Motorcycle Days and the finale of Wild Stallions motorcycle build, where Marty, his son Frank, his wife, and his son-in-law will all be a part of that, and make sure you're keeping track so that you can come up and have a nice choice when you get there on which one you like the most. But for Marty, I know. Other than that, how do you get on first shift this week? You just happen to be you're doing something training wise, or you just
yeah, training this week. So yeah, so it worked out.
yeah, we didn't know we were gonna be able to get you on in this fashion. We didn't know if we were gonna have to do something like a recorded scenario, or we only
Yeah,
caught you in then by we ended up having somebody fall through earlier, so we reached out and just happened to be here. Marty's
yeah,
working first shift right now, and that
yeah.
It
Just
was
for this
meant
week.
to
Be
be.
back to reality next week, but that's all
yeah.
right.
Hmm.
Still thankful, so we won't complain too much.
All
Yeah, I
right.
told Frank, worst case scenario, I could have took a half a day off, and I could still got here by about 10 till 7. So we
Yeah,
could have made it work somehow. But anyhow, worked out good. So
yeah, good timing.
So you don't do social media, but do you have anything you want to plug?
nope, not that I can think of.
Okay. Um, follow along with Marty's build in the pages of Thunder Roads Magazine of Michigan and on the Wyld Stallions Facebook page. There,
Yeah,
we'll plug
we
ourselves.
so far, so we have. If you haven't followed along so far, we have one introduction and one first update of progress, and you can go back and look at over those and see which builder your directions that you're kind of seeing what they're going for and what you like, and then make sure that you follow that all along, all the way up until August, and come and make your voice heard by voting for your favorite builder and this creation that they built over the time period of our build series. Anything else, Nick, that you can think that you have for Marty?
Nope. We gonna stay on after that for a little bit?
Yeah, we'll stay on just for a moment or so.
All right. Marty, thanks again for hopping on here, short notice, and thanks for
Thanks for
Frank.
having me.
Mm,
Frank getting y'all set up. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I appreciate that.
yeah,
mm,
good.
I'm sure
Yeah, looking forward to it, guys.
we'll
So,
be seeing you here. Probably Mansfield. You going to
No, we'll
Mansfield again?
definitely see him in Mansfield. If anything comes up before then, I'm sure we'll, see him. But well, I'm probably gonna see him in Detroit. I don't know if you're coming up for Novi Swap.
oh, I
Mm,
don't know that I'll make it for Nova. I know we're planning
Oh,
Imlay.
yeah.
So,
All right. Well, then, thank you for joining us then, and you have a good night. And nothing else I can think of there.
well, yep, thanks
very
again,
good.
Marty.
All right.
See
Yeah, you
you.
guys have a good night. Everybody have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bam.
Yeah, so that
Hey,
is Marty Grimes, father of Frank Grimes, and um, he is, like you said, building a shovelhead this year.
this is his
And
first time competing.
first time long time follower, first time competing. Um, and so, like I said, those guys are gonna have a boatload of bikes. They're building four of them right now. He's got one that's half finished, or not half, at least let's say 75% finished or 90% finished. He's got to get finished behind him. So, and then he's got the other long bike that's the one that was in Cincinnati and the other. And um, then you got the knucklehead with the snake skin and all that. So we're talking that just Marty alone's looking at, what's that? One, two, three there, and then you got four building this year. So there's seven. Then you got Frank's two other ones, eight, nine. So I mean, you're looking at having close to 10 bikes real soon. Just they have over 10, but just in what they would want to show, I guess would be a whole other story too.
Yeah, how are they gonna haul all those? Like,
Well, for eight. Or they're gonna have to be like coming up with some ingenious ways of riding one and pulling one.
don't give him any ideas. I wouldn't be surprised to see Marty and Frank twist up a little trailer to haul one of their choppers behind the other
Yeah.
chopper.
So then in legitimate them riding and then the length of the trailer with the other long bike, they're like 24, 25 foot long, rolling down,
You got to get a
taking up more
CDL to
space.
drive that shit.
Just in length. It weighs like 700 pounds, but it's just like 32 feet long.
Oh, Salty says he's bringing four choppers.
Awesome.
Nice. Good. We might have a nice little chopper show this year.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have everybody that we know. On top of the fact that we have Owasso Vintage Motorcycle Days, we also cover in our little square, and also for the Wyld Stallions side and the custom side. Also, bring your custom motorcycle, your custom other. We do have a vintage motorcycle show that we are associated with. It doesn't mean that we are not trying to see all the custom creations that are around the Midwest. So make sure you get in touch with me. Bring them on up. I'll put a special spot for you with your name on it. So get in touch with me. Owasso Vintage, August 29th. So
Yeah, I'm really hoping we get a decent turnout of you know choppers. Not necessarily for the vintage show, but just kind of like
For the
riding
Wild
in.
Stallions side, yeah.
Yeah,
Right in shoppers, and I mean we'll vote on those too, and stuff like that, and I mean we'll figure something out on top of that, like our own little voting scenario for not the built bikes to be judged, but the other bikes that have came and rode or been brought to show and stuff for, let's say, a Wild Stallions prize of sorts. The maybe the builders can go out and we can all agree on one custom bike to present a Wild Stallions trophy of, you know, our favorite choosing. So like every that'd be one of our days plan. Like, hey, yeah, you are here showing your bike. One of your days plans is why don't you go around check out the rest of the show and then check out what bike is the best that you like on the rest of the show and stuff, not just necessarily the vintage, but one custom, one vintage. You make two choices and then we'll distribute a trophy to those people from the Wild Stallions or so. That'd be a good thing to do. um I think we're gonna have another good show this year. We haven't really been touching much on that end of it yet, but I mean, we always seem to pull out one of the best Midwest vintage shows in the area. So I mean, if you haven't been to Owasso for the vintage show, make sure that you're coming just to see. Like I've heard multiple times, even before I was part of Owasso Vintage and running my own stuff with uh, the Wild Stallions. It was I like that show. It's a good ride. It's a good place to get to. It's a good mix of this, that, and the other. And so make sure if you're coming for Wild Stallions to know that you have a vintage show to go to. If you're coming to the vintage show, make sure you place your vote for your favorite build in the Wild Stallions.
yeah. I like that idea of um, like a builder's choice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Builder's choice for the show outside of
The show.
our voting. Yeah, the show outside of the show, voting for the show.
Yeah, can dig it.
Other than that, I mean, so we'll have another builder on next week. So I don't know if we have that one in written form yet for their non-disclosure agreement and their um agreeing to be on, but we will definitely have another builder on next Wednesday and go over some of where they're at and what they're going to be going and maybe some things that they've ran into that has come in to be an issue so far in their build or stuff that they thought was going to be more of an issue that hasn't been an issue. Um, the fact that I haven't gotten to the bike until yesterday seemed to be an issue. So I mean, like now we're past that issue. It's all sailing downhill from here. It's all just nice and smooth downhill.
Yeah, my bike not being on the lift was an issue, and now it's
Yeah,
on the lift.
yeah.
Baby
It was
steps.
like a midwestern lawn mowing. Like I mowed my lawn, so you had to put your bike on the lift.
Yeah, yeah. See, cool, Derek. You had progress. I had progress too. So, oh,
Yes, you did. Everybody's special. You are.
a delicate flower. Uh huh.
Yep. And other than that, I mean, we'll have another builder on.
I
For
didn't
the
think.
builders that are listening right now, or that might come in contact with one of our current builders in our Wild Stallions building competition 26, we have 4 more days until our updates are going to be due so that we can compile them for print and release. So make sure that you're getting those across. Make sure that you're spell checking and everything, getting your basic writing platforms down now, so you can have your writing completed and to me in a timely manner. Thank you. On the 15th.
Yeah, I gotta do that.
No, don't worry. You just made progress. You told me all about it.
I actually,
You
yeah, I
got
have
something to write
something
about.
to write about this
Hmm.
month. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, not much, but something.
I mean, let's not take away from it. I mean, we have been doing a lot of travel and working on doing this. So, I mean, like to each your own, and that's why we cover it this way. You know, it's what did we have to do to get to the show? So then, I've gotten some steel, some other parts. We went to other shows to see how we could better our show and what we're doing and stuff like that, and what we might be able to bring aspects to it while filming and being able to you know, document those scenarios and shows that we have been going to. So, I mean, we're doing just not in a physical sense of motorcycles.
Just we're doing, just not building bikes,
Yeah, yeah.
building a
We're
YouTube and a
doing, yeah,
Facebook and a yeah,
yeah,
all that.
yeah. So, I mean, if you haven't found out, I figured if you haven't went and checked out, you can see that we have mentioned that into our first updates and stuff like that. And our next update will be April 1st. And it's not going to be an April Fool's joke. I don't know anybody else's, where their progress is or nothing, but I mean, I hope it's not an April Fool's joke, especially when we write, oh, we've got our bikes onto a lift, month three. Um, it's not April Fool's. It's actually the release date, April 1st, 2026. We'll be releasing our second update. That is the progress that the builders have gotten from their first update that we released on this month on the first until where they're going to be April 1st. So some are a lot farther than others, and some are a lot farther behind than others. Yep.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes.
Oh,
But I mean, now I think I got to plan everything in a straight line, so I think I'm pretty much going. It's just doing now. And I mean, have you chosen your color of paint yet?
no,
No.
I kind of have an idea ish maybe of something that I might want to do, but
Yeah.
no. Yeah, I was looking at the bike last night, and that motor is really, really wide. So
Hmm.
taking the frame down to like a single back tube is. I'm not real sure what I'm going to do for a tank that's not going to look weird. Uh,
Mhm. So, I mean, wide tank, do a split,
that's kind of what I was thinking, but
make a really nice center inlay between the two tanks that you can incorporate and hide all of your electrical. Give yourself a speedo, a clock, and maybe like a pop-up mirror,
yeah,
and make it all flow together. A little a storage compartment for your little odds and ends. What else do you need?
snacks.
Snacks.
Oh,
A
Bryce
friend.
at Farming Biker. Bryce, he wants to know if we want pictures for the updates this time.
Always,
Yeah, always pictures, Bryce. Whatever
always.
you got. And then he said a
As
Boss
long
Hoss
as
tank for my bike. Uh,
yeah,
Boss Hoss tank might be a little too wide, but we'll see.
yeah. Just flow those two together, and then you go with something like I don't know what size do you got. Do you running the stock wheels on it? You think?
No, so I think I'm probably gonna swap over to Sportster rims. I've got an idea to put a Sportster front end on it, so I have more options when it comes to bars and um, forks. So then I think I'm gonna swap everything over to what's the Harley 1 inch axle? Is that the Harley axle?
3/4 to
Three
one
quarter,
inch, depending on which model you're looking at. Uh, Sportsters would be a three
three
quarter. I
quarter.
think you got into 1 inch when you get into the Dynas and the FXRs.
So yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And you have those wheels, or are you just gonna rob them off of the bike that you already have?
No, I'm gonna probably try and find some on marketplace or something.
Mm. Well, I don't have another 21, but I got 19s and these 16.
See, yeah, I'll take a 19. 21s and 23s just look weird to me. That one Sportster at Garage Brood had a 23 on the front, and that just, I don't know, looked off
I-
to me.
If you're looking for a 23-inch Invader, I know where there's one right now in a storage place not being used that Papa John will work with you on getting.
Papa John, man, I haven't seen him. He didn't come last year, did he?
He's gonna call me out, and I'm gonna say I want to say that he came and went. Like it was like, hey, it's you, and then it was gone. But at the same time, yeah, he was there and then he left. It was like a passing thing because the year before that he was there. So yeah, he came through on like the way through last year, but
I don't think I saw him. Hmm.
yeah, he's a man of mystery. He's hiding right now.
Well,
He should start coming around more.
I agree.
But other than that, it looks like we're adding more things to our stuff. We need to work on that calendar a little more. Add more things to our schedules and stuff. And as stuff comes around, we're at to update that calendar. The only thing I see that's this month right now is I know that I next week is Kalamazoo, and then the following weekend is Novi. So I'm gonna go to Novi, not Kalamazoo. So those are the only two things that I can see right now. I know that we're going to be seeing an opening of like bike nights and stuff coming back around that we'll start talking about and stuff. Then, certain areas and people want to tell us about, their bike night and stuff. We might even bring somebody on to tell us about those when they happen and where they happen. But right now, I don't see too much on the calendar. And really, our next show that I can think of is Mansfield. So, there's not much else that I can say. Is everybody just make sure keep following along, and we're gonna keep chugging along and seeing what we can put together for you. And we're getting a little better every single day, maybe. So
Yeah, make sure you're following along on the YouTube. We're constantly dropping videos there. The Facebook, dropping shit there all the time too. The Instagram, we drop there occasionally?
mm,
Question mark. Oh, I know. We need to be better at Instagram, but working on all the other ones.
yeah, and like I posted something yesterday, and it was like I posted it on Facebook, and then it's like if I would have just posted it to Instagram first, it would have just automatically posted it to Facebook for me, and I wouldn't have had to do it twice. So if anybody sees that I had a post on and then I had another same post on, it's because I did stuff backwards and it's my fault.
We're still figuring out the social media shit. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
RJ asked if we would like to bring some bikes to Kalamazoo like we did. What did we take our bikes to? Was that Novi?
That was Novi. So that would be this upcoming week,
He said
and it would be
Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo. Yeah. This upcoming weekend's Kalamazoo. The following weekend's Novi. Um, my yard. It depends on rain and the saturation of ground right now because I couldn't get to the pole barn and get a bike out for the 60 plus degree day that we just had on Monday because it rained so much the couple of days before that I would have just sunk it into the ground. And plus, I would have had to move everything out of the way to get to it, and it was, I don't know. It's where I was like, oh, that's too much work. I'm gonna turn around now and then just complain that it never happened later on.
Yeah, I'll have to look at my calendar, RJ, see what if Kalamazoo's this weekend, I might be able to pull something, but we'll have to see.
Hey, if you're going, just swing by and get me.
Swing by and get you.
Yeah.
I don't think Owasso's on the way to Kalamazoo. I don't know where is it.
You're on the wrong hand.
Fuck. Now that looks
So
backwards to me. I
it
don't.
looks backwards to you because it's like looking in the mirror. Do you slap your left side of your face when you look in the mirror because it's not the right side of your face?
Yeah, it should.
Okay, so we are. I am right where that mark on the middle of my hand is. You are almost right there. Kalamazoo's probably right there. And right there. Yeah, back a little. Bam. Kalamazoo.
So
You.
yeah,
Me.
yeah, yeah. So I'm not anywhere close to hitting your direction. Otherwise, I would pick
Well,
you
I
up.
mean, if you made it like a nice circle route, you just
Yeah.
go up 127. You go around 69. You come back to 96, and then you just turn right there. If you just did it all in right turns, it makes
It's
perfect sense.
just like that. Gotcha.
Yep. But
Oh,
all right, I think that I have a dog that's yelling, so I don't see any more quiet for this time period of our lives. So, thank you everybody that followed along, everybody that's following along, everybody that's clicking like, share, follow for us, and make sure you keep following along. And the builders, get your or your next update to me so we can put that out on April 1st and follow along so you can come to a Wasso Vintage Motorcycle Days and the finale for Wild Stallions Motorcycle Build and choose your favorite build and your favorite vintage motorcycle while you cruise the rest of the downtown streets of Wasso choosing. Nick, is there anything else that you can think of before we let everybody go? And the tens of whatever people we have.
the dozens of people watching.
Mm.
Yeah, just make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. Be active on social media with us. We appreciate all the comments and interactions, engagement we get. So yeah, just keep doing that and following along, guys. We appreciate y'all. RJ
All
says
right,
he'll
everybody.
pick you up.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, to him, it would be in kind of a path. To you, it's completely out of the way. That's why I wanted you to do it. Him, now I'm like, it's not as fun. All right, everybody. Thanks for following along. Thanks for joining with us. And make sure you check us next week, Wednesday, same time, same channels. And if I haven't said it to you once, make sure you check your local establishment, your local watering holes, and stuff for Thunder Roads Magazine of Michigan, where you'll be able to keep up with all of our stories, our ups and downs, and look for other motorcycle related news and events in the Michigan region. And make sure everybody be excellent to each other. Have a fabulous night.
See you guys.